Hello, my name is Hannah Roberts. I am an occupational therapy student at the Arkansas Colleges of Health Education in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Throughout my spring semester of 2025, I have researched and networked throughout the state of Arkansas to determine classroom management resources and mindfulness techniques for the educators of Arkansas. This free resource is the outcome of my doctoral capstone experience. All of the information used in this toolbox was gathered by researching scholarly journals and completing online surveys and follow-up interviews with educators throughout Arkansas. Today, we will discuss the purpose of this toolbox, an overview of classroom management strategies specifically designed for impulsive or unfocused students, and mindfulness techniques for educators. So, what is the purpose? The aim of this toolbox is to provide an accessible resource to utilize when teaching students with identified and non-identified attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. This toolbox contains classroom management strategies with an emphasis towards impulsive and unfocused students, as well as mindfulness techniques for you to utilize while at work and at home. In our first unit, we will be discussing a variety of classroom management strategies. Our first strategy in this unit is a calm down corner. A calm down corner can also be called a calming corner, peaceful corner, or a mindfulness spot. By having one in your classroom, this can provide a safe, quiet space for your student to identify and manage their emotions, prevent further emotional dysregulation, and practice calming techniques. This will support a student's social and emotional learning by utilizing the key skills of self-awareness, emotional regulation, and self-monitoring. The design and implementation of this small space can be determined based on the needs of your classroom. Evidence has shown that a calm down corner can be effective for emotional regulation. One study indicated that this space reduced a student's dysregulated state by 81%. The first design recommendation for a calm down corner is adding calming furniture options. Examples include beanbags, L-shaped chairs, plush blankets, or balance cushions. The second design recommendation for a calm down corner is providing soothing tools such as stuffed animals, tactile stickers, or fidgets. More examples of soothing tools is an expandable ball to use when demonstrating breathe in, breathe out exercises, noise-canceling headphones, and social stories. Social stories can be created using your preferred method of practice to tailor the needs of the book to your classroom. Some educators from Arkansas use Magic School AI to create individualized social stories. The third design recommendation for a calm down corner is decorate using meaningful signage. If you are an educator to younger students, use signage with larger graphics to teach them about breathing techniques and rating their emotions. For older students, decorate with meaningful signage with more descriptive details for breathing techniques, rating their emotions, and problem-solving techniques. The fourth design recommendation for a calm down corner includes creating a low stimulating environment for the student. In order to create a sense of privacy for the student while allowing you as the educator to watch them, use a see-through net draped over the calm down corner. A few implementation recommendations for a calm down corner include creating entrance and exit procedures and decorating with soothing colors. Entrance and exit procedures can include using a visual timer and or allowing the student to go whenever they are beginning to feel emotionally dysregulated. Soothing colors can include nature colors such as blues and greens. Avoid bright red and orange colors when decorating your calm down corner. Our second strategy in this unit is a visual schedule. Although visual schedules were created for students with autism spectrum disorder, visual schedules can be utilized in a general classroom to provide students with predictability and navigational skills regarding their daily routines in the classroom. It can be used over a short period of time, such as from the morning bell to lunch or throughout the day. Step 1 of implementing a visual schedule includes determining how to demonstrate a certain activity. You can choose an object, photo, word, or a combination of all three. For example, this visual cue card discusses circle or carpet time with a combination of all three. Step 2 of implementing a visual schedule includes determining the length of the schedule, such as morning, afternoon, or full day, as well as how it will be displayed, such as from left to right, top to bottom, or multiple rows. For example, the afternoon time or from lunch to departure is displayed from left to right. Step 3 of implementing a visual schedule includes determining a neutral location in the classroom for students to use during transition periods. For example, a visual schedule being hung by the door can allow for the students to determine where they will be transitioning to. One tip for a visual schedule includes using the same or similar objects in the visual schedule as used in the classroom. For example, to indicate the end of the school day, use a cue card with a backpack on it. Another tip involves integrating the visual schedule into the classroom to utilize during transitions. For example, prior to transitioning out of the classroom, ask the students to point to the visual schedule where they are going. Our third strategy in this unit is using hand signals. The purpose of these hand signals are to be used to limit the number of interruptions of the class. For example, a student can hold up a number 2 with their hand while you are teaching, and you can nod yes or no without stopping your lesson. Number 1 would mean the student needs a pencil, and number 2 means the student needs to go to the restroom. Number 3 means the student would like water, and number 4 means the student needs a tissue. Number 5 can mean a question or help. As the educator, you need to determine if only one meaning or both meanings of the number 5 would fit the needs of your classroom. A closed fist or a 0 means the student is requesting the nurse. Our fourth strategy in this unit is rapport building. For younger students, this rapport building activity can be completed twice a week, once at the beginning of the week and once at the end of the week. This activity can provide you as the educator insight into the student's life. This activity would be an emotional rating worksheet with comments to describe why the student is feeling this way. For older students, this rapport building activity can be completed once per semester. This activity can provide you as the educator an insight into the student's home life and how you can better serve them individually. This activity would be a paragraph or a one-page paper allowing for the student to describe anything they want you as the educator to know. This can include their interests, dreams, biggest challenges, etc. Remember to explain to the students this is a confidential paper, but if a student describes harm to others or themselves, it must be reported. In our second unit, we will be discussing a variety of classroom management strategies used for impulsive and/or unfocused students. Our first strategy in this unit is tips to eliminate distraction and increase focus. The first tip is reducing clutter in areas of the room students focus most of their attention on. For example, have a simple area without clutter around the board to increase the student's focus on you and the lesson. The second tip is to provide alternative seating to a student around the room or move the student's workstation closer to the front of the room. An example would be placing the student at the front of the carpet during carpet time. Another tip is to divide the classwork to reduce a student feeling overwhelmed. For example, instead of explaining an entire lesson to a student, section the lesson with brain breaks or worksheets to re-engage their interest. Another tip is to provide students with responsibilities during a lesson, such as recalling the instructions of an assignment. Another tip is to provide a space for a student to call their own, such as their workstation or desk, to limit disruptions of their learning and their peers. Another tip is to add brain breaks throughout the lesson. Our second strategy in this unit is brain breaks. The purpose of a brain break is to allow a student to relax, shift their focus off their work, and return to their work refreshed. Research has shown that a brain break should be integrated into a lesson every 20 minutes. As the educator, you understand the needs of your classroom. Therefore, you should implement a brain break during times when the majority of students begin to display impulsivity and distractibility. A simple brain break can be standing up and running in place for 10 seconds. It all depends on the needs of your classroom. A few brain break examples include playing Simon Says, practicing your animal noises, jumping jacks, breathe like an animal, spread your wings stretch, bubble wrap stomp, freeze dance, or make a rainstorm. Our third strategy in this unit is an interactive emotion area. An interactive emotion area is used by integrating the use of the student's emotions during transition periods using signage or books in your classroom. This activity could be called an emotional check-in time or a feelings check. This activity allows a student to explain how they are feeling that day, and it provides you with the insight to meet the student where they are at. An example could be completing this activity in the mornings, before or after lunch, or prior to the ending of the school day. In our last unit, we will be discussing a variety of mindfulness techniques for educators to use while at work and/or at home. The first technique in this unit we will be discussing is routine. Firstly, having a consistent morning routine can provide you with a sense of accomplishment before your day begins. For example, your morning routine can include always making your bed before leaving. Secondly, adding exercise into your daily schedule, such as setting aside 10 to 20 minutes per day to pace inside or take a walk outside. Finally, maintaining a routine with a consistent bedtime can provide you with a constant throughout your day. The second technique in this unit we will be discussing is self-care tips. One self-care tip includes completing a self-check-in throughout the day. For example, twice a day identify what emotions you are feeling. Another self-care tip includes scheduling activities to promote a calming state of mind, such as allotting yourself 20 minutes of your day to complete a puzzle, do a mind game, or complete a relaxing activity that you find satisfaction in. The third technique in this unit we will be discussing is activities to do throughout the day. One activity that you can complete throughout the day is journaling and self-reflection. This activity can be a check-in for yourself during the day and help reflect on the positives and negatives of the day. Another activity can be considered deep focused breathing. This technique can be completed by doing a simple breathing routine, such as breathing in to smell the roses and breathing out to blow out the candles. Deep focused breathing can also be completed by doing a full body scan, which can promote relaxation and present moment awareness. When you are completing a full body scan, keep your eyes closed, start at the top of your head, and mentally scan down your body until finishing at your feet. The fourth technique in this unit we will be discussing is tips from peers. A few tips from other educators around Arkansas include staying consistent when following behavior guidelines, teaching is a job, not a lifestyle, prioritize keeping grading at school. The biggest tool as a teacher is your coworkers, so share your ideas. The fifth and final technique in this unit we will be discussing is tips to leave work tasks at work. One tip for leaving work tasks at work is scheduling a commitment directly after work. This forces your mindset to transition from work to leisure. An example can include committing to a workout session directly after work hours or committing to yourself to complete a journaling session. Another tip for leaving work tasks at work is practicing the use of being present. This practice allows for you to dismiss unwanted thoughts from work or school when being outside of the facility or outside of contract hours. This is a summary slide of everything we discussed throughout the toolbox. Thank you to everyone who participated in this project. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. My email is ot.hroberts25@gmail.com. Thank you.